Chapter 7. The very first of Freddy's employees made his way in as the clock hit 6. He gave Dante and the bare show stage a look as he headed for the kitchen. "What are you doing out here? Why are you all wet and... Wait, where the hell did Freddy and the gang go?" "They're all hanging out by the security office," Dante said. "And there was a fire. I'm doing the math on the damage right now." The employee gave him a strange look and made his way to the back. Dante heard him scream obscenities as he returned while punching numbers into his cell phone. "Don't you dare go anywhere," he said. "I'm calling the boss right now. Do you have any idea how much those things were worth?" "I'm doing rough estimations." Dante referred to his pocketbook. "If you happen to know the specifics, I'd be happy to know. It'd make this whole ordeal a lot easier." Within half an hour, Freddy's manager pulled into the parking lot. He ignored Dante at first and headed straight for the back hallways, let out a few screams of his own before he joined Dante in the dining room. "What in God's name have you done?" "All I did was defend myself, albeit sometimes in unnecessarily extreme ways, but hey, what are you gonna do?" Dante shrugged. "You've destroyed the backbone of our business!" The manager's face turned red in fury. "Say, do you know if this place has demon insurance?" "What?" "Demon insurance. I mean, it's not legally called that or anything." "What in God's name are you talking about?" "I have reason to believe your restaurant was haunted by demons," Dante said, matter-of-factly, "and that they were possessing the bodies of your already freaky-as-hell animatronics." "That's completely ridiculous," the manager said. "You're out of your mind!" The machine showed signs of sentience, and the Golden Freddy costume and I even had a couple of totally meaningless conversations before I dropped a Molotov inside of him. They also bleed. A lot. "That's just oil!" "Yeah, I'm sure it is," Dante said. "And again, your robotic buddies were smart enough to attempt to communicate with me and showed clear signs of self-awareness. Hell, Freddy Fazbear himself said he wanted to stuff me in one of those stupid costumes, which I am to believe would have caved in my head." The manager was now growing less angry and more nervous. That is... Sir, I'm going to guess you're not familiar with paranormal law," Dante said, unamused. "But I've been part of the field for over 30 years. So let's assume for a sec that no, you really had no idea demons were possessing your animatronics." "Demons don't exist!" "A gigantic tower rose out of the ground in Vienna and opened a gateway directly into hell back in '89, sir," Dante said. "It was all over the news. It happened a few blocks away from my apartment. There really is no plausible deniability towards something like that. Anyway, if you were aware this restaurant was playing nesting ground to a bunch of demons, you'd incur some pretty heavy governmental fines for not shutting this place down immediately for an exorcism. Assuming, however, you were indeed ignorant of what happened, you wouldn't have to pay those fees." "What are you even going on about? None of this changes the fact that you destroyed the main draw of this restaurant." "Hey, pal, I broke the Street Fighter II machine yesterday. That was how I got here. Because nobody in their right mind came here to see your stupid, blood-filled animatronics. And either way," he reached into his pocket and produced a small brochure. "I grabbed this from home before I came in. Your puppets were freaky enough to warrant it." The manager looked over the brochure in disgust. "What the hell is this?" "Information regarding destruction of property and exorcism law, as described by my good friends at the United States Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense. If you look at Article 14, subsection 4, Addendum C, any person performing exorcism or destruction of demons possessing property, whether consented or otherwise, are not liable for said destruction if sufficient proof of paranormal activity is supplied." "How in God's name do you justify something like that?" "The destruction of demons and paranormal entities outweighs the price of private property, sir," Dante said. "If you look at Article 19, exorcists or hunters should expect compensation for their work, regardless of... Hang on, I'm not done. There's no need to scream yet. Regardless of consent of destruction, so long as proof of said exorcism is deemed sufficient by the BPRD. Now, if you look over here at Article 20, in the case of provable ignorance of paranormal activity, private property owners may appeal to the BPRD to pay compensation for damaged property and reward the exorcist/slayer for their work. Matters such as these will be handled on a case-by-case basis." When the manager offered no instant response, Dante summarized, "It means you can write into the BPRD to pick up the tab on this little mess of yours, but they'd have to do a thorough examination of the restaurant. And given just how much this place isn't up to code, and the fact that it's pretty obvious to any veteran demons hunter that this place is haunted, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to help you much on that. You still haven't answered for the destruction of our property! Each one of those animatronics was worth $1,200! $1,200? Dante scribbled some numbers off his sheet. Ha! Boy, was I being generous. Pretty sure that puts me in the black. What did that golden Freddy costume cost? Another $400! Dante laughed even harder as he slid the sheet of paper to the furious manager. Okay, so here's what I owe you for the broken Street Fighter II machine. Here's the price on every one of those animatronics. Here's Golden Freddy. And over here is the gasoline I used and the burn marks I left in the floor. Now over here is what you agreed to pay me for the night, the US mandated minimal charge for a hunter-assisted exorcism, multiplied by 5 because I had to kill 5 of them, and some hush money so I don't tell the BPRD and Food and Drug Administrations to shut down your sorry ass. He circled a number at the middle of the sheet. And there we have it. You owe me $120.50. The manager fumed as he stared at the calculation before blaring, "Get out!" at the top of his lungs and pointing toward the door. I accept cash or check. Have it to me in the next 30 days or we'll get my lawyer involved. Dante cheerfully headed for the door. Your lawyer? Mine will bury you for the damage you've done to this place! Good luck with that, Dante said with a laugh. Tell the BPRD you want the big red guy. Tell him he can come over and we can catch up while he's in town. 10 days later, Dante received a letter from Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Enclosed inside was a check for $120.50. All was as it should be. The end.
Silence!